If someone asked you right now, ¿Cómo es tu casa? What is your house like? Could you describe it in Spanish? Well, in the next 20 minutes, you can. Hola a todos, welcome to Español con Churros, the podcast that teaches you real Spanish for real life. I'm Saumya, your certified Spanish teacher and examiner, and along with me I have my dear friend Lorena, the native Spanish speaker from Madrid. And this is episode 5. And yes, we are building a series of episodes that would help you not just to learn Spanish but at the same time to know the culture of the Hispanic world. And today we go home. Yes, mi casa, my house. The place where you spend most of your life and of course one of the most important topic when we talk about our daily routine.
Hola a todos. Well, in Spain, home is everything. We have a saying, mi casa es tu casa. My house is your house. The moment you walk through a Spanish person's door, your family. You're offered food, drink, a seat at the table. The home is not just a building. It is an experience of who you are. And today, you will learn to express yourself in Spanish and how we can talk about house, casa, in Spanish, en Español.
Couldn't agree more, Lorena. Well, chicos, today's key grammar is the verb hay, one of the most used word in the entire Spanish language, which means there is and there are. In just one word, yes, we have two meanings hidden. Once you have I, you can describe any room, any house, any city, anything. It basically unlocks everything for you. Now, let us tell you what we cover in episodio 5, in episode 5. Vamos. Here is what you will be learning in episodio 5. First, a real conversation where Lorena visits my home in Spain and I describe it to her entirely in Spanish. Listen for the verb hay, I, and the vocabulary we'll be using throughout. Apart from that, also pay attention to other grammatical aspects coming ahead. Second, the grammar breakdown. Explanation of the verb I, the rooms of a house, key furniture vocabulary and preposition of place. Al lado de, encima de, debajo de. Because knowing the word for kitchen is useless if you cannot say where it is. Third, the glitch. The I mistake that appears on every exam or conversation that you have in Spanish. And a cultural note about Spanish homes that will surprise you. Fourth, the fluency repeat and, of course, your homework. So, mi casa es tu casa. ¿Preparados? Vamos.
So now, before we start, let's give them vocabulary.
Por supuesto, Lorena.
I'll say it in Spanish and Saumya will say it in English. La casa,
The house,
el piso o el apartamento,
the flat or the apartment,
el salón,
the living room,
la cocina,
the kitchen,
el dormitorio,
the bedroom,
el baño,
the bathroom,
el comedor,
dining room,
el balcón.
balcony.
Hay,
There is, there are.
No hay.
There isn't. There are not.
Al lado de.
Next to.
Enfrente de.
Opposite or in front of.
Encima de.
On top of or above.
Debajo de.
Under or below.
Entre.
Between.
La cama.
The bed.
El sofá.
The sofa.
La mesa.
The table.
La silla.
The chair.
El armario.
The wardrobe.
La estantería.
The shelf. Chicos, now Lorena is visiting my home today for the first time, and I'm gonna show her around, entirely in Spanish. Listen for the grammatical aspects and, of course, pay attention to the vocabulary learned and count how many times you hear the verb I. So, ¿listos? ¿Preparados?
Hola tía, pues ¿qué tal? ¿Cuánto tiempo que no te he visto?
Hola Lorena, pues bien, todo bien, sí, que ha pasado mucho tiempo que no hemos visto.
Oye, pero ¿esta es tu casa?
Pues sí, esta es mi casa.
Pues qué casa tan bonita. ¿Y cuántas habitaciones hay?
Pues hay 4 habitaciones en total, hay un salón, una cocina, 2 dormitorios y un baño.
¿También hay un comedor?
No, no hay comedor. En mi casa comemos en el salón. Pero hay una mesa grande al lado de la ventana y donde nos sentamos como familia y comemos juntos.
Genial. ¿Y cuál es tu habitación favorita?
Pues de verdad mi habitación favorita es la cocina y hay una ventana grande frente de la puerta y hay mucha luz por la mañana y eso me encanta cocinar por ahí, comer también y todo.
¿Hay jardín o balcón?
Pues sí, hay un balcón pequeño en mi dormitorio, hay 2 sillas y una mesa pequeña y por las tardes tomo el té ahí. Es mi lugar favorito para relajarme después de un día duro del trabajo.
Pues qué bonito. En mi piso de Madrid no hay balcón, pero hay una terraza en el edificio. Y en verano todos los vecinos suben ahí.
Ahí, genial, pues me encanta esa idea.
Pues tomamos algo.
Vale, pues si nos sentamos aquí, ¿vemos algo en tele?
Anda, nos sentamos aquí.
¿Entendisteis algo? Did you guys understand anything? Tell us down in comments how many times did we say I. And remember, this is one of the essential words that we'll be covering today. So chicos, Lorena and I will be starting with our grammar breakdown and the very first thing that we'll be covering is the verb I. Hay. So let's start. Vamos.
Hay, which means there is and there are. Hay un sofá. There is a sofa. Hay 2 sillas. There are 2 chairs. Hay una cocina grande. There is a big kitchen. Hay muchos libros. There are many books. But chicos, remember when we need to say there is no or there are no, we just need to put no in front of I. For example, no hay jardín, there is no garden. No hay comedor, there is no dining room. And also, remember the key rule, we can also ask questions using I when we say, is there a balcony? Are there two bathrooms? All we need to do is use I and after that, whatever we are looking for. For instance, ¿hay balcón? Is there a balcony? ¿Hay dos baños? Are there two bathrooms? And that's how easy it is to use the verb I.
Lorena, thanks for that. That was really informative. Now, chicos, let's talk about the rooms. So, in Spain, the most important room is el salón, the living room. This is where family life happens, where guests are received, where the television is, and where the sobremesa happens after Sunday lunch. El salón is the heart of the Spanish home. Now, a quick grammar check of the house vocabulary. So it's el salón, living room, la cocina, kitchen, el baño, bathroom, el comedor, dining room, el despacho, study room or office, el pasillo, hallway, el jardín, garden, la terraza, terrace. And now, Lorena will talk about los muebles, furnitures.
Apart from the ones that we have already given you, I'm going to give you some more here. So, a quick recap of the ones given in the starting of this episode and few more. La cama, bed, el sofá, sofa, la mesa, table, la silla, chair, el armario, wardrobe, la estantería, bookshelf, la lámpara, lamp, la ventana, window, la puerta, door, el espejo, mirror. And now, prepositions of place. Because knowing the word for kitchen is useless if you cannot say where it is. These prepositions tell you the position of things in relation to other things.
And in any random conversation, describing your house without these prepositions, well, it will not really be appropriate doing it. So, they matter that much. Whether it's your exam or a random normal conversation, make sure you use these to be in the higher brand or to sound more like native. Al lado de, next to or beside. Enfrente de, opposite or facing. Encima de, on top of or above. Debajo de, under or below. Entre, between.
Detrás de, behind. Delante de, in front of. Dentro de, inside. Fuera de, outside. Now, formula with I. Use I, then your article, your noun, followed by preposition, and the reference point. For example, hay una mesa al lado de la ventana. I, then my article, una, my noun, mesa, preposition, al lado de, now reference point, where is it? La ventana. There's a table next to the window. Hay un espejo encima de la cama. There is a mirror above the bed. Hay dos sillas entre la mesa y la puerta. There are two chairs between the table and the door. And one more essential phrase. ¿Cuántas habitaciones hay? How many rooms are there? This is a natural opening question when you talk about a house. If someone asks you this, say the number first and then list them. So, hay 4 habitaciones. Hay un salón, una cocina, un dormitorio y un baño. Simple. And make sure that it's complete.
We hope that was informative for all of you. Now it's time for the glitch. So, episode 5, most common mistake is not the verb I. Students know it exists, but you know what they get confused with? It is ESTÁ. ESTA, ESTÁ. Another verb that means is there. And believe me, we cannot use it in an interchangeable manner. As experts, we can tell you that it is wrong. So you cannot say está un sofá en el salón to say there is a sofa in the living room. Using está to introduce something new is incorrect. I introduces something new, there's existence. So, hay un sofá en el salón. You didn't know it was there. Está or están locate something known, its position. For example, el sofá está al lado de la ventana. The sofa is next to the window. We both know the sofa exists. Now, where is it? So, remember, simple rule, new information, go with I. Something known already, go with está or están. Think of it this way. I is the moment of discovery. Oh, there is a sofa. Está is the direction. The sofa is over there. First you discover with I, then you locate with está. Discovery, then direction. I, then está, in that order. And this will always stay with you.
Whew! Chico, she has given you what you needed exactly. So, first you discover with I and then you locate with ESTÁ. Saumya, that was brilliant. I must say it. Now, chicos, let's talk about the cultural note of Spanish homes. Spanish homes are typically smarter than you might expect, specifically in cities like Madrid and Barcelona. A standard apartment in Madrid is 60 to 80 square meters. Space is tight, but the Spanish approach to small spaces is extraordinary. Every centimeter is used beautifully. The balcony is sacred. Even a tiny balcony of 1 square meter will have plants, a chair, perhaps a small table if the space allows. In summer, the balcony becomes an extension of the living room. Neighbors call to each other from their balconies. Life happens outdoors whenever possible. And in India, you might describe your home by its size in square feet. Isn't it, Saumya?
That's so correct, Lorena. Yes. In India, we describe our home basically by its size. And that's the beauty of Spanish culture. Over there, as you said, even if the house is small, every inch is used beautifully. And chicos, in fact, in Spain, nobody talks about the square meter in conversation, honestly. Instead, they describe by rooms. For example, hay 3 habitaciones y 2 baños, 3 rooms and 2 bathrooms. Tells a Spanish person everything they need to know about a home's size, and comfort. And also the famous saying, Mi casa es tu casa, my house is your house, is not just a phrase. It is a cultural value. Guests are never turned away. The home is always open, and that generosity is woven into the language itself. And yes, we do have the same culture in Indian culture as well.
I so agree with you, Saumya. I have been there in India at your place and I felt the same. The values, the culture, all of it is majorly the same, but the only difference is the size of the house. In Spain, we don't have that much space to build, and of course, it's more expensive than in India.
Now, chicos, it's time for the fluency repeat. Natural speed, shadow us as always, and this time, every time you hear I, visualize the room or object we describe. Connect the word to an image, and that is how the vocabulary sticks. So, listos? Are you guys ready?
Hola tía, pues ¿qué tal? ¿Cuánto tiempo que no te he visto?
Hola Lorena, pues bien, todo bien, sí, que ha pasado mucho tiempo que no hemos visto.
Oye, pero esta es tu casa.
Pues sí, esta es mi casa.
Pues qué casa tan bonita. ¿Y cuántas habitaciones hay?
Pues hay 4 habitaciones en total, hay un salón, una cocina, 2 dormitorios y un baño.
¿También hay un comedor?
No, no hay comedor. En mi casa comemos en el salón, pero hay una mesa grande al lado de la ventana y donde nos sentamos como familia y comemos juntos.
Genial. ¿Y cuál es tu habitación favorita?
Pues de verdad mi habitación favorita es la cocina y hay una ventana grande frente de la puerta y hay mucha luz por la mañana y eso me encanta cocinar por ahí, comer también y todo.
¿Hay jardín o balcón?
Pues sí, hay un balcón pequeño en mi dormitorio, hay 2 sillas y una mesa pequeña y por las tardes tomo el té ahí. Es mi lugar favorito para relajarme después de un día duro del trabajo.
Pues qué bonito. En mi piso de Madrid no hay balcón, pero hay una terraza en el edificio. Y en verano todos los vecinos suben ahí.
Ahí, genial, pues me encanta esa idea.
Pues tomamos algo.
Vale, pues si nos sentamos aquí, vemos algo en tele.
Anda, nos sentamos aquí. Hooray! Episode 5 is done. And now, chicos, you have H-A-U-I, you have rooms, you have furniture, prepositions, and the difference between I and ESTÁ. You can describe any home in Spanish now. Remember, mi casa es tu casa. And episode 6 arrives soon. And we leave the house and explore the city now. That's mi ciudad. We talk about where things are, what a city is like, and how to describe your hometown in Spanish.
That's true. But before we leave, let's talk about los deberes, the homework. So, today's homework is describe tu casa en 3 frases. Describe your home in 3 phrases. Use I at least twice. Use one preposition of place. And rest of the details you can give us in comments. Remember, we'll put it down in the description box and also in the pinned comment of comments where you can check again what the homework is. So, adios chicos, and tonight look around your home, Name every room in Spanish, every piece of furniture you can see, and repeat it in your head. Do it out loud and do it now. That is Spanish becoming part of your daily life. So, hasta el próximo episodio.
Chao, hasta el próximo episodio.